Hi. Somebody just shot our car up. I think my husband's dead. Dave, are you alive?
On the night of April 28, 2024, the caller and her husband were returning home from his father's birthday party, unaware the night would end in a vicious attack on their lives. But as the call unfolds, it's clear she doesn't believe this was a random act of violence. The following is based on official police records released to date, and most of the footage has never been seen before until now.
Dave, get up. Dave. Hello?
I'm here.
Hello.
We're getting you help on the way.
Yeah, somebody shot him. I don't know if he's alive or dead. There's blood everywhere.
Can you tell if he's breathing?
I think I feel a heart pulse in his neck. I'm not sure. Somebody just shot like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 shots at our car, and I don't know how many times.
Did you see the other car or no?
Yeah, we think it's my mother-in-law's neighbor. He was following us. We think he was following us on the freeway, and then all of a sudden he started shooting at our car. We don't even know why. He's kind of crazy. Honey, honey, are you okay? He's sitting up, but I can't tell if he's breathing or not.
Okay.
I don't even know where he shot. Oh, I think he shot in the head. Oh, this isn't good at all. This is not good at all. I see the police coming. I see the police car coming, but
Okay.
I don't know. He's shot in the head and there's blood everywhere.
Okay.
Y'all see the title? It is called Killer Forgot Cameras Were Watching. I wonder what happened. Let's find out.
Cuyahoga Heights police officers reached the horrific
Some
scene,
dispatchers be
finding
sounding so blah.
59-year-old Jacqueline Perez covered in blood and standing at the driver's side door of a black Dodge that has been riddled with bullet holes. With a bullet wound in her left arm, Jacqueline managed to gain control of the truck to prevent a wreck or harm to any other drivers on the busy freeway. Her husband, 57-year-old David Perez, is slumped over in the driver's seat with multiple gunshot wounds to his head and body. Tragically,
Gosh.
David is deceased. Before being transported to the hospital, Jacqueline is able to identify the shooter as 29-year-old Ian Rich, the man who lives next door to her husband's parents. A bolo is put out on Ian's black Audi convertible, and nearly an hour and a half
Bolo,
later,
be on the
Bracknell
lookout.
police officers spot his car.
Exiting at St. Clair and Superior. I'm lighting it up.
Driver! Hands out the window! Open the car door outside the window!
That a
Unlock
dog?
the vehicle!
Oh, it's a doggy.
Hands outside the window! Open the door! Keep your hands where I can see them!
Is it the right
Keep your
person?
hands up! Step out of the vehicle! Face away from me! Hands in the air! Walk backwards to the sound of my voice! Stop! 92! Handcuff! Do not look at me! Stay there!
Dang, they so harsh. What if it's not him? Is it?
Don't move!
Put your hands together like you're praying.
Oh, it is him.
We'll explain everything. What's the dog's name?
Sienna, sorry.
Come here.
Oh,
Come here, girl. You handcuffed?
Sienna.
Walk this way. Walk this way. You don't got anything on you to get control of you.
I want a golden retriever.
Okay, let's walk.
I got all kinds.
The officer removes everything from Ian's pockets, while the other secures his dog Sienna safely in the back seat of a cruiser.
Anything else? No guns on you? What's this? Oh, you leave? What's this? What's my...
Oh, gross. Hold on, what? Gross. Not the officer with. Oh my gosh.
Where's your pocket? Okay, I got it. I got some drugs.
Okay, there's a crack pipe in plain view. Do you have ID on you? No? What's your name?
My name's Ian.
Ian what?
Last name Rich.
Rich?
Yeah.
Do you have crack on you?
No, that's, well, what are the pipes? Speed.
Speed? Okay.
Ian is placed in the cruiser and read his
What
Miranda
is
rights, but the officer will ultimately save any questioning regarding the shooting for a Cuyahoga Heights detective.
Is there anything in the car we should know about?
There's guns.
There's guns?
Yeah.
Okay. Where's the gun?
Well, there's one in the center console behind the seats,
Okay.
and then the rest of my pistols are in the top.
So they're in
And
the
then
trunk?
there's ammo. Yeah, there's more in the trunk in an FN bag.
Okay, so how many total?
5.
5 guns total? Okay. All right. Why don't you put...
The officers choose not to do a detailed search of Ian's car, and instead radio an officer with Cuyahoga Heights to take custody of the vehicle and its contents. They then take a moment to appreciate the outcome of the arrest, which played out far more calmly than they expected.
I can't believe it didn't take off. I was waiting. I was like, I want to make sure you're there with me. Yeah, smart. I gave everything over radio. I was ready to go. I was like, you ain't getting me on no nothing. Worked out perfect. Yeah. Putting that down as a stop.
An officer with the Cuyahoga Heights Police Department
Going on with
arrives
him?
and takes a closer look at Ian's car.
Where are the 5?
The 5 he said are in the trunk, right?
He said,
I think they're at the car. I didn't touch anything.
I'm willing to bet they're
You want me to roll down the back window for you?
center console area. They're probably in there.
Yeah, I'm not even going to touch it.
Officers begin transporting Ian to Strongsville Jail for questioning. But as for his dog Sienna, officers discuss whether a neighbor can retrieve her, or if they will be forced to take her to the local pound.
I would just rather, if it came to that, I'd rather go to my mom.
Okay.
My mom's got another dog.
Okay.
She doesn't want to take care of her, but she will if she has to.
And it wouldn't be the first time. Ian's dog Sienna has been collected by the Newburgh Police Department on more than one occasion, and each time his mother agreed to collect the dog. But Sienna's history with the police pales in comparison to Ian's, which spans multiple encounters over several years.
She's about to have
and
to
will
keep
later
that dog
shed
for
a
good
tragic
now.
new light on his actions tonight. Once they arrive at the jail, Ian is taken inside and seated in a booking area, joined by Detective Lucas and a lieutenant. The following interrogation has been analyzed by a retired detective, who is also a licensed polygraph examiner, as well as a former hostage negotiation commander and instructor. Ian's Miranda rights are not read by Detective Lucas on camera prior to conducting this interview, as an officer has already read them at the scene. However, the delivery of the rights by another officer creates potential issues. If Ian didn't fully comprehend the warning, any statements he makes going forward could be challenged in court.
He's sitting there looking real comfortable.
Okay.
Ain't
It's
he?
getting worse and worse. And it's like, in fact, sure, honestly, it would be good to get taken care of.
Okay,
Get
yeah,
him to look at it.
We'll take care of it
Right
after,
I got tape on it.
right after we have a little conversation, all right?
A critical first step in any interview is establishing a baseline of the suspect's knowledge, awareness, and mental state. Given that Ian has a known psychiatric history, Detective Lucas should have assessed his orientation and level of understanding by asking basic facts such as the date, where they are, or why they're here. Instead, he begins the interview by asking Ian to describe his day, which he says began at around 10 o'clock this morning.
What did you do after 10 o'clock when you woke up?
Tried cleaning up my garage.
Okay.
Doing a lot of demolition in there, I guess.
Okay.
Trying to renovate it.
Newburgh Heights police records show a pattern of alarming behavior at Ian's home, including repeated noise complaints and property damage. 2 weeks before the shooting, his mother told officers the house was unlivable, with walls torn down in every room, and that Ian had been drilling into the foundation because he believed his neighbors were, quote, doing things underground. She also reported that he had schizophrenia and was self-medicating with drugs. The detective began appropriately by asking Ian what he did after waking up, which is an effective open-ended question. However, rather
You
than
already know how
allowing
his
Ian the
trial about to
opportunity
go.
speak freely, Detective Lucas
Schizophrenia and all
quickly
this
interrupts and
stuff they
shifts the
saying.
conversation to his drug use.
What kind of drugs are you on?
It's meth.
Meth?
Yeah.
Okay. How long you been on that?
Not that
Not long. Why'd you get on?
I was on it for few years,
Okay.
nonstop, every day. And then I went to rehab.
Okay.
And for some reason got back into it when I lost my job again.
Okay.
So yeah, that's been a problem. That's why I'm here, I guess.
Gotcha. How often do you use meth?
Lately it's been every day.
Every day?
Yeah.
Okay. When's the last time you used?
Yesterday.
Once the conversation returns to establishing a timeline, Ian says that after waking up, he went to AutoZone, returned home, and later went out to dinner. Then, after 9 p.m., his female friend Ashiana sent him a text message, and he decided to go to her house for a visit.
Never heard that one
I
yet.
left just knowing I was going to head over there eventually. I was just cruising kind of, I wasn't like making a beeline there. I was just kind of.
So what if there was a camera that saw you getting on 77 South? Around that time.
I might have went south, yeah.
Okay. You might have went south?
I don't know. When I left, I was just cruising.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
But in reality, Ian followed Jacqueline and David Perez as they pulled out of his parents' driveway and began shadowing them in his car, as seen on multiple
Why?
security cameras that recorded his every move. In an interview filmed 3 days after the shooting, Jacqueline, along with David's parents Sally and Ted, shed light on the incident. They explained they were celebrating Ted's birthday just before David and Jacqueline left at 9:21
sad.
p.m. And it wasn't long before David realized Ian Rich was behind them.
I said, well, I'm gonna call your dad,
Okay.
which I have the time. I called him at 9:26. And I called him and I said, your crazy neighbor's following us again.
Okay.
And that's when the bullets hit us. I didn't know, I thought he threw a rock at us because I just seen it looked like pebbles in that, but I guess it was glass.
Okay.
And that's when I looked, I don't even know where he went after that. I looked at my husband and he was slumped over.
Okay.
And I'm thinking, okay, I gotta get
Can't
how do I stop the
imagine
truck?
Okay.
'Cause
what she
I
had to
was all
see.
over, it was all over the road and I couldn't get him out of the truck. And so
would've
I-
lost
'cause
it.
It's a push button,
Yes.
no thingy, so I don't even know how it stopped. I have no idea, but
Okay. Did your husband?
I think he died instantly because he was already, when I looked over, he was slumped over
Okay.
already.
Do you know who your neighbor is?
Yeah.
What's his name?
Ted.
Ted.
Ted Perez.
Okay. Have you ever had any issues with him or?
No. I don't really know why he'd be.
Did you follow that vehicle today?
No.
What if we had video of your car behind him?
I might have been behind somebody. I didn't follow Ted.
Okay.
Ian's confident assertion that he didn't follow Ted is the truth, given it wasn't Ted that he followed, but Ted's son, David.
Right.
Detective Lucas needs to slow down, both mentally and physically.
Yeah,
He should take time to refocus and allow
he just come
Ian
from
to
home.
speak
He
freely
looked
without
comfortable, like he
interruption, which could lead to gathering
just got
critical
there.
information. Instead, the miscommunication continues as Detective Lucas questions ongoing problems with Ted and not the true victim, David.
Was there a problem that occurred with you?
Get him out of here. He don't know what he's doing. He don't know how to do his
prior to
job.
that happened?
Not that I know. I had like a time where it was from the drugs. I thought that maybe they were like trying to mess with me or something.
Okay.
And this is years ago.
Gotcha.
But other than that little episode that I had, it was like I don't know, it was like delusional or something. It was a while ago.
Mhm.
Other than that episode, I've never had any thoughts like that.
But what Ian describes as a little episode is far from the truth. According to Newburgh Heights police records, Ian's delusional thoughts about his neighbors have been occurring repeatedly for years. Incident reports detail Ian's concerns that his neighbors were spying on him using advanced high-tech equipment, including a laptop with an overhead view of his house. In June of 2022, he was committed to a psychiatric hospital after insisting his elderly neighbors were trying to murder him and stating he will take matters into his own hands.
Now, we've never met him.
Okay.
We've never talked to him. We've never seen him. He just knew his car.
Okay. So you don't really even know what he looks like?
No, I never
Only
looked
from
like
our
till I
ring
seen that
cameras.
picture.
And
yeah.
those ring cameras don't give you a real clear picture of his
Yeah.
face, and that was another thing too. He always walked with his head down.
Yeah.
He never walked with his head straight ahead.
Okay.
According to court documents, Ian exhibited extreme erratic behavior. He had become convinced that his neighbors were working with the FBI, conspiring to kill him through radio waves or poison in the ground.
He thought her name was
Okay.
okay, and that she worked for
the FBI, and that I had all kinds of lasers and stuff going into his house.
Isn't it crazy how people with schizophrenia and all this other stuff, like when they're delusional, they always think it's the FBI after them. Like, why the FBI out of everybody? That's kind of weird.
Where I could hear every conversation and I could see everything that he was doing.
The reason why I'm saying that is because it was my sister. Okay. So that's why he had to Google that.
Oh wow, he was deep in it.
No kind of confrontation with her at all. There wasn't. He cut on the side of his house, which was his property. She always had flowers there for years. Well, he didn't want them there. He cut them down.
After this incident, which was reported in July of 2022, the Perez family told police they were, quote, concerned that his erratic behavior would progress into something dangerous to them.
That time, there was nothing. There was no FUs, no throwing nothing over. Nothing.
There was never like a fear of him or anything.
What? Oh, yeah. There was a fear of him.
There was a fear.
Because of the stuff that
he was
did,
doing.
And this is something I want to emphasize, and this is causing us a problem. I seen his dad one day. This is a couple years ago, and I said to his dad, I says, can I have your phone number just in case I call you if something happens over here? He says, yeah. He gives me his phone number, and I asked him, I said, does he have any weapons in there? And his father's reply to me was, you don't have to have that weapon to hurt somebody.
Yeah, I'm Lieutenant Grabowski. All those firearms are registered to you, purchased legally?
Right. They should have all been in the car, except for my rifle. Is that all?
What do you use that Marlin for? Hunting or anything? Or?
Just targets. I haven't shot it in a while.
Okay.
Detective Lucas should have paused here to ask more questions, such as, when was the last time you fired a firearm?
This man ain't doing his
And
job.
what
If
type
he
of
knew.
firearm did you shoot?
So all those guns, are they loaded? Should all
One that I had with me was not loaded.
Once again, he misses the opportunity to press Ian further by asking a simple question. If all of his guns are typically loaded, why was the one he had with him empty?
If I were to ask you, did you fire a gun tonight? You did?
No.
Okay.
Note the way Ian first nods yes, then answers no to the question. This contradiction between verbal and nonverbal communication is significant.
If I were to ask you, did you fire a gun tonight? You did?
No.
Okay.
The detective repeatedly uses the phrase, if I were to ask you, instead of just asking directly. Overall, his questioning is scattered and lacks structure.
At this point, he on
The
his
lieutenant
side.
rejects, asking a question of his own.
You have no idea why you're up in this jail right now.
No.
That's a very serious reason why you're in this jail tonight.
Okay.
Okay?
Right.
We're not here because of the drugs. Something bad happened today. Very bad.
Okay.
And we're trying to figure out exactly what happened.
After being told that something bad happened, Ian nodded his head in agreement. But what's more important is that he showed no obvious surprise, concern, or curiosity in the form of follow-up questions.
Is there any reason why you're not asking us what happened?
Well, yeah, no. What happened? I didn't follow him. I know. Like they knew that I had that episode, and I thought that they were trying to.
Let me ask you a question here, real quick. What put you over in Euclid and East Cleveland and all those other areas? Why were you over there?
I was just moseying my way over towards my friend's house.
Again, Detective Lucas interrupted Ian during a critical moment. Ian finally asked what happened, but the detective never answered him. Soon after, the detective shifts the topic back to firearms, reminding Ian that they can test for gunshot residue on his hands. This seems to encourage him to change his earlier answer about not firing a gun today.
I might have accidentally fired it in my garage.
Okay. If I was to tell you that there was bullet casings that were picked up on 77 South, are any of those casings going to come back to any of the guns that you own?
I don't think so.
Hopefully not.
None of my stuff should be on the road there.
Okay.
This response is noteworthy and should have been addressed further. An appropriate response from an uninvolved individual would typically be a clear no. The detective missed the opportunity to follow up on this statement.
If somebody was shot or something.
Somebody's dead.
Okay.
Okay? Head died.
Ted is not
Ian
dead.
shows no visible reaction to this news, and the detective is still naming the wrong victim.
You gotta realize, life, 29, you can still get out. From
Just
today,
get the detective out of here.
okay?
Right.
If something happens and I put in here that you sat here callous, I'm gonna tell them. If you explain to me why this happened today, you have a chance.
Right. Like I said, I'm not gonna say that I didn't do it. I'm not gonna,
All the evidence,
right.
all of it.
And someone even saying they saw me, I didn't do that.
You're in the area when it happened.
I was, but I wasn't. I didn't do that.
You shot the.
Ian just admitted that he was in the area when the shooting took place, then quickly self-corrected. His statement should be explored further, as it suggests possible involvement, or at least uncertainty. This was a significant moment, and the detective misses the opportunity to follow up.
I think you're just living in this crazy world where you think that you're gonna be fine. It's not gonna be fine. Is he life in prison or parole?
If Ian were to confess now, he would have a good argument to say the only reason he confessed is due to the threat of life in prison versus the chance for parole. The use of threats and comments related to legal counsel could potentially affect whether this interview is admissible in court. The detective also doesn't have the authority to make those kinds of promises or guarantees about sentencing outcomes. The interrogation is soon headed for a more heated confrontation. But for now, investigators with the Ohio Bureau of Criminal Investigation interrupt the interview to take swabs of Ian's hands.
Did you wash your hands at all? No?
No.
Okay.
I did not.
Were you handcuffed?
Oh yeah, I did. I washed them. I was handcuffed and I washed them before I ate McDonald's with some Fast Orange.
So why would you buy that?
Cause look at my hands, man.
My
garage is dirty.
Have you been fingerprinted since you were here?
No.
No.
Whether or not the cleaning solution successfully removed any gunshot residue remains to be seen. Before the interview continues, a conversation begins regarding evidence from the crime scene.
Do we have any idea the number of shots fired?
Looks to be 8.
Has a weapon and ammunition been recovered?
Not yet. There was a casing or a bullet that was recovered by the scene, but no weapon yet.
The detective should not be answering these questions in front of Ian, who can clearly hear what is being discussed, and he now knows what
This
the
is
detective
so
has for
unprofessional.
evidence. Disclosing this information could undermine their ability to employ strategic interviewing techniques, such as controlled disclosure or bluffing, and could allow Ian to challenge or manipulate the situation. As the interview continues, the detective offers Ian a way to save face.
Maybe you had some type of psychotic episode. Maybe you had some type of out-of-body experience.
Why is he offering him an
But what
excuse?
happened today, you were identified.
Ian nods his head in agreement, but Detective Lucas doesn't
He
seem
is
to
just
pick
nodding
up
to
on the
everything.
gesture.
And I'm just trying to figure out why you do such a thing. And to help you, when this goes to court, why it happened.
Establishing motive is not a necessary element for the interview at this stage. While understanding the reasoning behind an incident is helpful, it's not essential to prove the case. The detective's approach would have been more effective if he'd framed it in a neutral information-gathering way, such as, help me understand how this incident occurred.
I didn't shoot at another car today. If that happened near here, like you said, and it was my neighbor, and they identified me for some reason, that's something else happened. Someone else did that or something, and they're trying to frame me, or I have no idea.
A good question for the detective to ask would be, who set you up and why? Instead, Detective Lucas takes a more direct approach.
There's a dead guy.
Right.
Detective
There's a guy
Lucas
that-
need to get out of here.
Right.
Tomato, tomato. This man
I was there. I
sucks.
saw him. He's like 2 gunshot wounds to the side of the head. Like instantly dead.
Yeah, there's a life ended and countless lives that are now affected by this.
Like he's like, I'm not lying to you. I would not lie about somebody being dead. And this guy is sure dead. Like,
How old is he?
not even close to being alive.
Using the victim's name throughout this interview could have made the situation more personal and real for Ian, potentially breaking down some of his emotional distance. Consistently referring to the victim by name is a simple but important technique that isn't being used.
But I'm telling you, when I go look at that car tonight, when we're done here, I'm going to find a ton more evidence that puts you there. And if you don't tell us why it happened, and we go to court on this, I'm going to stand up there in that box, and I'm going to make sure you go to jail.
Detective Lucas repeats the same statements without moving the conversation forward. As it stands, he's not maintaining control of the interview, and he himself is being manipulated by the suspect. As the interview goes on, the lieutenant interrupts to question Ian about his earlier claim that he's being framed.
Who do you think's setting you up? You think that the wife just set you up, set someone up to kill her husband and to frame you? That makes zero sense.
Right. But
so there's no setup here.
Well, I mean, they don't.
This man is agreeing to everything, out of his head, to everything. He's so calm.
There's a ton of real evidence. There's an eyewitness. There's cameras. There's bullet.
I don't have any beef with them. They don't.
It doesn't matter if you have beef or anything. I'm just trying to say, did you have something in your mind today that maybe thought that they did something to you, or
No, definitely not. In the past, I thought that they were like getting me while I was speaking, and the FBI or something. It was a episode I had. It was like when I was doing too much stuff, and then it was like I realized that none of that was real.
Ian has just implied the behavior that occurred in the past was when he was, quote, doing too much stuff, likely referring to drugs. The detective should follow up on this statement and reminded him that he used methamphetamine the day before, then develop a line of questioning around how that may have affected his actions or judgment. Building on this point could help create a theme that Ian was impaired, which might encourage him to open up further about what happened.
And there's a victim that could have been killed. It could have been a double homicide. Identified you as the freaking shooter.
I did not.
Plus your car, an Audi TT, black in color with a convertible freaking top. Plus you got 1,000 guns in your back seat, and then I'm gonna go find one when we're done here with 8 bullets missing. And then I'm going to find gunshot residue on your freaking hand.
But
yeah, you did it.
I didn't shoot the guy. I didn't shoot a car. They're falsely accusing.
Nobody's false accusing you. There's an eyewitness.
I didn't shoot.
You shot a gun. The evidence is going to be there, and I'm going to be there when you go on trial, and I'm going to say I sat in front of this and basically listened to him lie to my face, knowing that he shot a guy and killed him. You understand that? Me. I'm your lifeline, he's your lifeline. And that's it. If you don't understand that, I don't know what to tell you. Okay? Do you want to go to jail and sit with a bunch of murderers and
I really don't.
Well, guess what? If you don't tell us what the hell happened,
This can't be
that's
real.
where you're going. There's 1,000 pieces of evidence against you. 1,000.
But why would I do that?
Ian's question, why would I do that, suggests he's looking for a reason he can use to save face, where an innocent person would simply say, I did not do it. His question presents an opportunity for the detective to introduce alternative explanations or themes. For example, he could suggest the possibility that the firearm discharged accidentally, or that Ian intended only to scare the victim rather than shoot him. Instead, Detective Lucas continues pressing for Ian to share his own motive.
There's 1,000 pieces of evidence against you. 1,000.
But why would I do that?
I don't know. That's why I'm asking. That's why I'm trying to tell you. If you would explain to me why you did this, I could portray you as a normal human being.
I am a normal human being.
I know you are. So tell me why you did it.
I didn't do it. There's no reason to. I just saw him. I'm sorry.
I know you did it. I'm just trying to figure out why it happened and make you seem human. And I know you keep shaking your head, I didn't do it. But one day, you're gonna come back and you're like, man, I wish I would have told that stupid detective what happened.
Detective Lucas again resorts to making threats and is noticeably becoming frustrated and angry. At this point, it would have been more appropriate for the detective to take a step back or even pause the interview.
Like I said, I did shoot a gun recently, and I honestly stand right next to the car, but shooting, the other day.
That's a big, dude. You think that you were standing next to your car and firing a gun.
In the
You're
garage.
full of.
Yeah, I shouldn't be doing that in the garage. Shouldn't be shooting a gun in the garage. But
You're full. You are full of absolute.
if you saw the garage,
You're full of.
you would know.
You're cooked. You're absolutely cooked. That's all I'm trying to tell you. You are cooked.
Ian reiterates that he was just out for a cruise tonight, but when he shares new information, the confusion over the victim's identity gets in the way.
When I was texting that Ashiana Ron, I did receive a call from Teddy Perez.
Okay.
After the time of the thing, I didn't see that.
That's impossible. He was dead then.
He was not.
Well, he was dead.
You guys are looking at
So it just appeared on a phone call, appeared on Facebook.
Yes.
Ted is not dead. This detective is
And calling
stupid.
you?
If you got my phone.
Maybe he was because he was trying to get after you. Because you just killed him.
Once again, Ted Perez is still alive, as the murder victim was his son David. If Ted did contact Ian after learning he was following his son, the opportunity to question him about that call is lost.
And I'm trying to help you not spend the rest of your days at 29 years old sitting and rotting in a prison cell because I don't think you're a bad person. I think you made a bad mistake tonight and that was it. That's it. I just don't want to see you rot in a cell. I don't think that's your type of person at all. That is it. Because I'm going to tell you right now, when I go to court, I'm going to bury you.
This type of statement is not only inappropriate, but also counterproductive, as it increases resistance rather than encouraging cooperation. A more flexible and controlled approach would likely have been far more effective at this stage of the interview.
All right, why don't we just take a break? You go in the cell, you can steal over this whole issue for a little bit.
Cigarette? There's cigarettes.
No, you can't have a cigarette.
Okay.
Allowing something small, like a cigarette break, could help ease tension and create a calmer atmosphere, which may make Ian more willing to talk. In this situation, there's little to lose, and it could improve the overall tone of the interaction. However, he's denied. The BCI agents remove and collect all of Ian's clothing, and once they resume the interview, the lieutenant asks a simple question that sends the interrogation on another downward spiral.
Is there anything else that you want to say to us?
They said someone called about the dog.
We're not worried about that dog.
Why?
Well, I'm worried about a dead guy.
I would rather her go to my mom than
I don't
someone
care
call.
about that dog. There's a guy that's dead.
She's just right.
There's somebody that's dead.
Right.
And you're worried about your dog.
Well, I don't want
Listen,
to have my dog.
there's a dead guy. And you're worried about a dog? Somebody's dead. And you're worried about a goddamn dog.
Unfortunately, police records make no mention of where Ian's dog, Sienna, was taken following his arrest. There's little effort to build rapport or show compassion towards Ian, and the detective's approach appears to rely heavily on confrontation. With a suspect like Ian, raising one's voice or making threats is not effective and works against the goal of getting useful information.
Do you know how they brought that guy back? They actually loaded the truck that he's dead in, hunched over the steering wheel, on a flatbed truck down in the coroner's office. It's processed the vehicle. Okay? Would you want any of your family members being processed like that? No.
Meanwhile, David's family struggles with the tragic aftermath of a situation that has been escalating
You
for
can see
some
the
time.
bullet hole
It's
where
like
she was
he
shot in
kept
her arm.
almost pacifying us, where there's really not much we can do unless he actually hurts you or harasses you, and that wasn't happening. But we would hear him with beating on the walls of his house. Sometimes it would even shake our house because he was beating on the inside walls with sledgehammer and stuff. And he would take that sledgehammer back into his garage and then beat in his garage. I mean, people all over the lady across the street, my neighbors would hear all this. And that's why we were scared of him, because we kept saying, and then the police were there so many times too on a welfare check. His mother would send them over there to check on him and stuff. And we were thinking, when is this guy gonna really go off the deep end? And that's what we kept saying to each other, you know? And then look what happens.
According to an
Had to happen
autopsy
to their
report,
son. That's sad.
57-year-old David Perez ultimately died from 2 gunshot wounds to the left side of his head, as well as 2 to the left arm. Still, Ian refuses to confess that he was the one who pulled the trigger.
I hope it burdens you, because if you're not willing to explain what happened or shed light, it makes you seem like you are a cold-blooded killer. If you want to see your parents again, bang a chick again, anything, you better come clean about it. Because
This guy sound like he in high school.
see to it that you don't.
But if the evidence and all that does me in, it does. If not, it doesn't. We go with that. I didn't do that. You know, they got me behind, saying I'm behind him. So that I don't. There's no reason to. There's no motive. I don't know those people. I don't care about them. You know, I'm a single 20.
So why is he messaging you on Facebook?
Exactly. I don't know. And why did someone call and want to take my dog? That's not someone that I want.
Nobody gives a flying about your dog.
Right, but I'm just saying. What if it's? I don't know what's going on. You know. I'm the guy who's just cruising around. I was gonna hang with
No, you. Okay. That's what you want to go with. You want to go with the guy cruising around. No, you want to go with the guy cruising around. Huh? You're a guy that was just cruising around. There's bullet flash, gun flashes coming from a goddamn Audi TT, triple black, into a goddamn truck that was a guy that was killed with an eyewitness. And you're gonna sit here and lie to me. You're gonna sit here and lie to me all day while I'm sitting here at 3 o'clock in the morning, and you're just gonna be with me. It's the dumbest thing ever. It's the dumbest thing ever. Man the up and say what you did. Be a man and say you killed the guy. I don't know why you did it, but just say you did it. You did it. You did it. And I don't understand it.
I didn't know.
You don't wait for a long time.
After nearly 3 hours of questioning, 29-year-old Ian Rich left the interrogation without giving a confession. Even without an admission of guilt, the evidence against Ian was damning.
They should have had a
BCI
different
investigation
detective.
reports revealed
Probably would
that
have got
Ian
further.
tested positive for gunshot residue on his hands, and that the 9mm handgun found in the center console of Ian's car was a match to multiple fired casings recovered from the crime scene. According to court documents, Ian Rich was indicted in May of 2024 on 1 count of aggravated murder, 3 counts of murder, 1 count of attempted murder, 2 counts of discharging a firearm on or near prohibited premises, and 4 counts of felonious assault, all carrying firearm specifications. On May 5, 2025, Ian Rich accepted a plea deal to reduce charges of involuntary manslaughter with a 5-year firearm specification, attempted murder with a 3-year firearm specification, and discharge of a firearm on or near prohibited premises. The court imposed a minimum aggregate prison term of 40 to 45.5 years in prison, with 402 days credited for time served, plus an additional 2 to 5 years of mandatory post-release control. Jacqueline Perez later filed a lawsuit against Ian Rich and 3 members of the Newburgh Heights Police Department for the, quote, foreseeable, preventable, and wrongful death of David Perez, as well as her own injury. The lawsuit states the defendants share culpability for the actions of Ian Rich because they, quote, knew about the danger he presented and recklessly failed to fulfill their duties to the public. The lawsuit is ongoing. Watch our full videos as they were originally made, with no randomly muted words or details cut. We've also dropped brand new Ewu videos available only on.
That's so crazy. I thought that they would have put him some type of home or something for his mental illness. That is crazy. He has to do prison time. Well, that's it, y'all. I'll see y'all on the next video.